Hello, chess lovers. I have an interesting game for you played in round 3 at Tata Steel Masters 2018. Viswanathan Anand with the white pieces is playing against Fabiano Caruana. Anand started with e4 and e5 by Caruana. Knight f3, knight f6, Caruana goes for Petrov's defense. Knight takes e5, white is choosing the classical variation. Another popular alternative is playing d4 going for Steinitz variation. But we see knight takes e5, d6, knight f3, knight takes e4, d4, d5, bishop d3, bishop d6. We see castling by both sides, c4, c6, queen c2, knight a6, and a3 preventing any possible knight b4 moves. By the way, capturing on e4 can be very dangerous. If you capture on e4, then black can get a pretty counterplay. Black can play rook e8, if queen d3 then knight b4, if queen c3 then bishop f5, and of course black has a compensation for the sacrificed pawn. That's why after knight a6 we see a3, bishop g4, knight e5, bishop f5, b4, knight c7, f3, bishop g6 and c5. Well, as you noticed, the knight on e4 is hanging, but capturing on e4 can be dangerous because black has bishop takes e5, and if d takes e5, then d takes e4. The bishop is hanging. Also, there is a very dangerous threat, queen d4 check. That's why after bishop g6 we see c5, bishop takes e5, d takes e5, knight g5, bishop b2, and a strange decision by Anand, d4. Well, actually capturing on d3 leads to equal positions, but instead after bishop b2 we see d4. A very risky move which sharpens the game. But the question arises, do these complications favor black? Let's see. Here comes f4, knight d5 by Caruana, and Anand is capturing on g5, knight e3 forking the queen and the rook, queen d2. First we see the exchange of bishops, and only then Caruana is capturing on f1. King takes f1, queen takes g5, and knight d2. Of course, capturing on d4 and protecting the pawn can be dangerous because black can get a strong counterplay. If bishop f2, then queen c1 check, and then rook d8. This can be dangerous for white. That's why we see knight d2. White is developing the last piece, allowing black to capture on e5. Knight f3, queen h5, and white captures on d4, threatening checkmate in one. f6 blocking the diagonal. Now comes queen c4 check, king h8, bishop c1. Already the bishop's diagonal is closed, and Anand is going to place the bishop on d6 square, a fine outpost for the bishop. Rook e8, bishop f4, a5, and there it goes, bishop d6. A takes b4, queen takes b4, and a strange decision by Caruana, queen d5. Well, it's not quite clear why is he giving up this pawn on b7. Queen f7 would have been better, but instead we see queen d5, and now Anand is simply grabbing the pawn on b7, getting a passed pawn on a file. h6, king g1, rook a4, h3, white is opening up a luft for the king. Rook c4, queen b2, queen d3, the rook is going to penetrate the second rank. That's why we see rook a2 covering the second rank. But now black tries to penetrate from the first rank, but of course this is not dangerous. King h2, rook c1, and there it goes, a4. Anand is using his passed pawn on a file. f5, but this is weakening the king side. Queen b7, f4. Black has a very simple threat. Queen h1 checkmate, and Anand captures on f4. In return, Caruana captures the pawn on c5. Now comes rook d2, allowing black to capture on a4, but in return white is getting very dangerous attack. Here comes queen f7, rook g8, bishop e5, Queen c4, offering an exchange of queens, and a fantastic move by Anand. You can pause the video and try to find his next move. Ready? He just played rook d6 and Caruana resigned. A very beautiful move. White is sacrificing the queen, but of course you can't accept the sacrifice because you will just get checkmated. A very nice checkmate, I think. Or after rook d6, it turns out that actually black's position is hopeless. If king h7 trying to get rid of the pin, then queen g6 check followed by queen takes h6 checkmate. After rook d6, black's position is so hopeless that actually engines are offering rook takes e5. And in return you can simply capture on c4, and this is an easy win for white. Once again, Viswanathan Anand showed his high class. If you enjoyed this beautiful game, don't forget to give the thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. More games are coming. Good luck.